Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining on to this webinar. So this is concerning Turtle Trek, and we will kind of go over an overview as well as we'll talk to some of the committee chairs. Um, and yeah, so basically the purpose of this is actually, hang on, we have more people in the waiting room. We admit them in. Uh,
You should be able to just disable the breakout room and it'll auto add people.
okay. Let's see. All right, there's no more waiting room, so that should be fine. All right. So we will get started with a quick overview. So just a quick welcome. My name is Drew Helm. I am the Turtle Trek committee chair and youth lead. So I'll go through a quick introduction of our kind of key members of Turtle Trek that are on tonight. So our program chair is Kylie Zanofsky. Our logistics chair is Logan Karen. Our communications chair is Lucas Weber. Missing tonight, we have Hannah Keelig, who is our shows chair, as well as we have our adult advisor for the event, Mr. Ferreira, and our lodge advisor, Mr. Paulson. Um, so that's a quick introduction of everyone and their kind of roles in the event. Um, so moving on. Um, so basically this webinar is just to provide essential information, and we will also have time to answer questions any of you might have. So a quick overview of the event. Obviously, as many of you may know, the event runs from November 8th to the 10th, and it is at Camp Norris in Kingston, Mass. So it's going to include scout-led programs, shows, challenges, everything like that. So it should be an exciting weekend at Camp Norris. The weekend is all about scouts coming together to enjoy a packed schedule of activities, fellowship, and outdoor fun. Whether they're there for the first time at Camp Norris or returning for more, we should have something special lined up for everyone. So let me give you a quick overview as to what to expect at Turtle Trek. This is not going to be your average camporee. We've designed this event to be scout-led, action-packed, and full of opportunities for learning and growth. So we'll have a range of activities that will test scout skills, teamwork, and creativity. But just as important as the activities is the spirit of brotherhood and scouting that we will foster throughout the weekend. So here are some things you can look forward to. Scout-led activities. So this weekend's activities are all designed by scouts for scouts. We will have stations that will challenge their outdoor skills, teach them something new, and allow them to work together as a team. They'll be competing against other trolls and troops with a focus on fun, learning, and friendly competition. These activities will push them to be at their best, whether they're solving problems, navigating challenges, or showing off their skills. With this, we will also have some incredible shows. One of the highlights of Turtle Trek will be the full-scale show we have planned. This isn't just your average campfire skit type of show. We have two shows lined up, one Friday night show to welcome everyone, and then Saturday night to cap off the day. So our shows are going to be a blend of entertainment, scouting tradition, and a little bit of surprise. So you definitely don't want to miss them, and I can promise they will leave you inspired and ready for more. With that, we will also have great food and Cracker Barrels. While most of you will be responsible for your own meals, we have three special meals covered. So on Friday, you'll get to enjoy a nighttime Cracker Barrel. On Saturday, you'll get to enjoy a hearty lunch with everyone. That will be kind of a rolling lunch, so you won't have to stop program midway through the day. And we will have not one, but two Cracker Barrels during the weekend, as I mentioned before, Friday and Saturday. These will be kind of times to unwind, enjoy some great food, and be together before wrapping up the day. Also, we will have Sunday services, so we'll end the camporee with Sunday services that reflect on the values of scouting and remind us of why we come together as a community. So it'll be a chance for whoever wants to attend to pause, reflect, and carry the lessons of the weekend into our daily lives. Lastly, we will have our trading post. So Whether you're looking to grab some cool Turtle Trek merchandise or Scout Essentials, we'll have you covered. It's a great spot to pick something up to remember your weekend by. Also, with those shirts, we will have screen printing options available for that. I'd like to thank the amazing staff and volunteers so far who have worked on this camporee, from our shows to programs team to logistics and communication and unit relations. It's taken a lot of effort to create this weekend so far. And yeah, with that, I would like to um, kind of get started into the committee presentations. So we will start off with communications slash unit relations committee with Lucas.
Perfect. So, I'll just give a brief introduction of myself first, and then I'll go and give my update. My name's Lucas Weber. I'm from Cumberland, Rhode Island, which is in the center, or northeast, northwest Mass. Northwest Rhode Island. Sorry. I'm currently the Tulpe Lodge Vice Chief of Program and the Communications Committee Chair for Turtle Trek. Um, So for communications, if you need anything, if you have a question for your unit or you have a question just about everything, I want everyone to write down turtletrek@tulpelodge.org. That is the email that you can email any question to, and that way, I can route it to the best person that can answer that question if it isn't myself. Um, that goes to the key leadership for the event. So that's your best bet in contacting us. Um, The event registration page has a program guide that is listed there, and that is your one-stop shop for getting to know information about the event, such as directions to the camp, parking information, and it will be updated pretty frequently as we get closer to the event. So definitely check that on a weekly basis and closer as you're getting to the event for some of those updated informations as we sort of finalize a lot of the final logistics. Um, the the if you see on Tulpe Lodge on our Instagram and on the council Instagram and CBSA, we've been posting about Turtle Trek, and so if you guys don't mind reposting that, if you have access to your true pages or any pages within the council, please try and repost that. We want to spread the word as much as possible to get the most troops registered. And give us a follow, give the council a follow and us a follow. Really appreciate it. Um, and I believe that's it. If you have any questions, turtletrek@tulpelodge.org.
Okay, thank you, Lucas. Um, so we'll hold all questions to the end, um, and we'll have a Q&A session for any questions that need to be asked. With that, we will move on to the shows committee. Hannah, our shows chair, is unfortunately not present tonight. So I'll give you a quick rundown of basically how the shows are going to go over the weekend. So there will be two shows throughout the weekend. We will have one on Friday night. It will kind of be a welcoming show. It'll be quick and easy. We're not going to bore anyone with that. And then moving on, we're going to have a show on Saturday as well. That's going to be at the Norse Amphitheater. That's going to be a full-size show with full audio-visual aid and everything like that. That will also be an interactive show, so we will incorporate an interactive element into that. Something could be like a game show or something like that. That will be integrated into that show. So it will keep your youth captured and encapsulated in the show. And then with that, we will also have awards there, as well as judging for different competitions that go on throughout the day, as well as presentation of the winner of kind of the competitions throughout the weekend. So that should be a fun show to expect. That will be at night, but we will go more into scheduling later. Um, that is really all for shows. So now I will move on to logistics committee with Logan.
Hello. Um, check-in will begin on Friday, November 8th at 5 and go until 7. If you know that your unit will be running late, please let us know beforehand. But try your best to be there before 7. That way you're not going to miss out on the Friday night show or Cracker Barrel. Um, During check-in, we're going to ask that unit leaders try to get there before the rest of their unit so that they can help assist our staff with organizing your unit to get to their campsite and through the check-in process. We need to make sure all units have their med forms prepared. And then when going down to your sites, we will have logistics team staff help you get to your site. One trailer will be allowed down to each unit's site, as well as one vehicle to bring that trailer, as well as any gear that they might need. That vehicle will have to return back to the parking lot after they set up. There are also many wagons that can be used to bring other gear down to your site if necessary. Um, let's see. Um, As for the parking situation, so we'll be using the primary parking lot there. If you're familiar with Camp Norse, you'll know where that is, right out front of the admin building. Due to the limited number of spots we have available, we strongly encourage your units to either carpool or have parents drop off their scouts and then pick them up on Sunday. That way we can make sure there's enough parking for everyone. If we do run into that parking lot being filled, we do have an overflow area behind a storage building. However, we want to try not to use that if it's not necessary. As for your campsites, you are allowed to have propane for cooking, as well as fires for cooking and recreation. Like I said before, you can have your trailer. If your troop usually sets up some sort of canopy or awning, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure it stays within your site area and you're not disturbing the troops nearby. Um, as for checkout, we're gonna ask that you check out no later than 11 a.m. on Sunday. We will be having staff make sure that your troops site is cleaned before you leave, and then return any paperwork we may have gotten over from check-in, as well as make sure we know that your unit is leaving. Um, we will start having staff go around 9 o'clock to see if any units are ready to leave. As for meals throughout the weekend, units are responsible for eating their dinner before they get there Friday, as we'll only have a Cracker Barrel but not a full dinner. Units are also responsible for breakfast and dinner on Saturday, and then a breakfast on Sunday. For safety protocols, very briefly, if there's any emergency, we'll be going to the dining hall. If for some reason, very unlikely, but if for some reason the dining hall is not available, we will meet in the parade field. And I do believe that is all from logistics.
Thank you, Logan. So moving on to our final really key committee that you guys will be interacting with, our program committee. So that is run by our program chair, Kylie Zanofsky. So she will talk about the program committee as well as event highlights and the schedule throughout the weekend. Go ahead, Kylie.
Hi everyone, I'm Kylie Zanofsky. I'm a Vigil Honor member of the Lodge, and I currently am the Vice Chief of Development and Program Chair for this, oh my goodness, event. So I am, like you said, gonna be going over our schedule and program highlights. There's a lot of program to cover, so I'll take questions at the when the questions time is, but I'm gonna screen share first our program list. So this is just our key highlights of our events that we're going to be having. They are subject to change and the location is, so don't exactly look at the locations and expect it to be there at the event, but we'll make sure to let everyone know if it is subject to change. I'm gonna screen share. Okay. Can we see? Okay, awesome. So as you can see, it's broken down into activity, location, coordinators, if it's a competition, time, and any notes. We don't have exactly times written down yet, but we do know what events we will be having. So first, I'm going to be going over range and targeting activities. We're going to have tomahawk, rifle, and archery, and we will have range officers on those. And they are at the Norse does have ranges for all of these. For open program, we're going to be having some of your basics like gaga, basketball, spike ball, can jam, ladder ball, cornhole, just a bunch of games that you'd see at like a barbecue. Those are going to be, all of our open games are going to be hosted at our admin building. So it's the first building you're going to see kind of when going into Norse, well, in the parking lot. And then we're going to have Norse's History Museum open, ham radio, fishing. We're going to do screen printing and mug branding. That's from us. And that is what it looks like for our open program. So a lot of that is self-run, or we have someone there to help, especially with screen printing and mug branding. And all the trails are open. And then we have our competitions for the weekend. So how competitions is going to work for the weekend is we're going to have the big winner at the end of the weekend. So if you've seen your normal camporees, there's usually a winner of the weekend, or no, for like other events, there's a winner for the weekend. So the first place winner is going to get, am I saying it? Oh,
Yeah, you can go ahead and say it.
okay. So what is it called?
So basically, the winner of the weekend will be kind of awarded. I don't know if any of you have seen like a WWE style championship belt, but it will be a custom Tulpe Lodge Turtle Trek WWE championship belt. This is not to take home, unfortunately, but it will have your name engraved on it, and it will be brought back at every camporee, as well as hopefully be on display at Camp Norse. And with that, you guys will get a miniature version to take home with you.
Yeah, there's going to be that first place winner of the overall competitions, because most of the stuff we're having for the weekend are going to be competitions. As you can see, if it says yes, it's a competition. And all those points are going to be tallied up, and then the awards will be given out at the Saturday night show. But we're also going to have second and third place for the weekend, and they will be awarded plaques. So we have field competitions, which will consist of gaga, volleyball, flag football, ultimate frisbee, kickball, and capture the flag. And those are going to be scheduled for you guys. So once we get the finalized list of all the troops coming for this event, I'm going to make a sheet and I'm going to schedule you guys for every competition or range and targeting activity, just to make it easier on our staff and on you guys. Those lists will be handed out on the Friday night SPL and Scoutmaster meeting, which you will see in the schedule. But you'll be assigned competitions, field competitions, and range and targeting activities. So we also are going to have a scavenger hunt. And a big thing we're also going to have is the chopped competition, Tulpe edition. So I don't know if anyone knows what the chopped competition is, but each troop is going to be given 2 bags of 3 ingredients. One will be adult entry and one will be a youth entry. So your job is to make something with those 3 ingredients. So you also have to bring other ingredients to make it with. So that's your job to bring to the event is, say you want to bake, I don't know, a cake. Then you can add our 3 ingredients in some way to that cake, and then it will be judged on the Saturday night show. It's kind of confusing, but you can ask questions later about that one. And then I don't know if you guys follow our Instagram, but if you do, you would have seen we have Tulpe guys, and those are the people who will be judging the competition. And then we're gonna have a little cooking area near the dining hall where we're gonna make fried dough and pie irons cooking, which is basically a pie, but with like bread and filling. And then for nighttime program, we have s'mores. And then some guided scheduled program that you guys would schedule yourselves are the service projects. So those are optional, but they are conservation projects. So if your scouts need them, the hours, then you could let me know and I'll schedule you guys in, or if you pick a time. that'd be great. And that'll be guided by our staff. We also have an escape room. That is actually going to be assigned to you guys. So you're not scheduling it, but we're going to schedule you in to a block of the escape room, which is supposed to be really cool. And we're also having a Paul Bunyan Award. So if you guys know what that is, it's like the chopping a tree one. I bet most of you guys know what that is. But unfortunately, everyone can't get a complete on it. So you guys, whoever does it will get a partial with the Paul Bunyan Award. And that's going to be near our Scoutcraft, which I'm talking about in a second. So trainings. This is not really training, but Coffee with the Scout Executive. If you've ever gone to Yagu, they usually do a meeting with the Scout Executive at like 10 a.m. Time is to be determined, but there will be coffee with Scout Executive Tim McCandless, and that is for adults. We'd like a Scoutmaster or an adult leader from your troops to be present at that. And then from the ones we're hosting Let's Talk OA, which is going to dive deeper into everything about OA with our Lodge advisor, Mr. Paulson, and Lodge Chief Drew Helm. And that's going to be an adult training. And then our other adult training is going to be What's New in Scouting. And that's going to be a to be determined district executive, hopefully. Or, yeah, I think. And that's for adults. And then we're going to have Scouting for All Abilities with Miss Sue Gent. And that's open to all. And then our youth-oriented ones, we have Trail to First Class and Trail to Eagle. So those you can send your scouts over if they're on the trail to either of them. Okay, moving on. As we mentioned, we're having a religious service, so we're going to have a Scouts Own. So it's going to incorporate all different religions, and that's going to be put on by our staff. And if you have any interested scouts that would like to say something in the Scouts Own, then they can tell me that on Friday night, hopefully. And then, as I mentioned before, we have a Scoutcraft area. So this is near the fort, so the TP area. So we're going to go through firemanship and township, and they will get the whole thing, but we aren't offering the cards. So what we're going to do is we're going to send you off at the end of the weekend with a list of what your troop has accomplished. So we'll give you a list of who accomplished firemanship and township so you can get the cards for them. We're going to do a knots and lashings teaching and then a string burning competition. So that will all be near Scoutcraft, which will also be the Paul Bunyan area. So that was a lot. We're hopefully going to send this out to everyone once it's fully complete. But this was the overview of all of the program. And now I'm going on to the overview of the schedule of the entire weekend. Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah. There we go. Okay, so this is the schedule for the weekend. So Friday night is a pretty simple night because that's when everyone is just coming in. And so check-in is 5 to 7. So we're also going to have open field games 5 to 7. That reminds me of one point is if you guys as a troop or scouts individually have any yard games you would like to bring, like cornhole, can jam, ladder ball, any of that, that would be greatly appreciated if you wanted to donate it for the weekend, because with the amount of people we are hoping to have, there will not be enough from us. And then we're going to have that SPLN Scoutmaster meeting where all of your activities that are assigned will be handed out, and then any questions can be answered there as well. That's 7:15 to 7:45. And then that Friday night show is going to be 8 to 9. And then Cracker Barrel 9:30 to 11 with games and a movie. And then lights out at 11. Saturday. So 6:45 is going to be wake up, and our team's going to deliver donuts to your campsites. And then 7 to 8:30 is breakfast that will be at your campsites. And then 8:45 to 9 will be a short flags and announcement time period, which will be held at the flagpole. And then program is going to be open 9 to 4. As we mentioned earlier, program is never going to stop or close during the day for lunch. So we have the grab and go lunch option that'll be outside the dining hall, where your scouts can go there at any point in time between 12 and 1-ish, around there, to grab a lunch, stop and eat for a second, and then go back to program. This offers more time for program for all your scouts. Program is going to end at 4 though, because we're going to have one final big event in a way, besides the show, which is going to be our relay at the main field, 4:30 to 5, where all the troops are going to come together and compete in one final competition. 6 to 7:30 is your dinner at your campsites. 8 to 9 is that closing show time period again, where we will announce the winner of the weekend and second and third place. 9:30 to 11 is Cracker Barrel time again, with open games, movie at the fort, karaoke, and s'mores. And then lights out at 11, like Friday night. Sunday is really simple. 6:45, wake up again. 7 to 8:30, breakfast. 9 to 10 is the Scouts' own, but as you mentioned before, it is optional, but we do suggest you guys go. 10 to 10:15 is closing announcements. And then after that is departure. And then I just want to mention a few other things just because I forgot. If your scout is doing tow and ship or anything in the craft area or scout craft area, we do suggest a pocket knife, and then remember the chopped ingredients for the competition. That's all I have.
Great, thank you very much, Kylie. So those were our 4 key committees that would to go over again: communications, logistics, communication shows, logistics program. And so now moving on, just a couple of quick logistics for Scoutmasters things. So troop campsite assignments and setup, those won't be released yet. Those will be released at a later date, because our logistics committee is working hard to lay out all of the sites and make sure all of the sites are at capacity for your troop and that you guys will have a comfortable space there. Health and safety procedures, that was kind of gone over a little bit quickly by Logan. Obviously, if there's an emergency, we will let you all know, and we will be meeting in the dining hall. If the dining hall is not available to use because of some kind of condition, we will meet in the parade field. Some health procedures, we will have certified medical staff on call all weekend at the event. So if anything were to happen with one of your scouts, we will give you guys phone numbers to call, as well as you could contact any staff member and they can get one of our medical officers over as quickly as possible. So before the event, there will be an email going out to all Scoutmasters with an updated program guide, a schedule, and emergency contacts, as well as that will be provided to you guys on Friday night. The troop responsibilities. So as well as bringing the health forms for when you check in, we need a full and completed roster of who you're bringing to the event at the beginning. So in case anything were to happen, we have a full roster of people that are there from your troop, as well as their health forms. You guys will be responsible for bringing tents for camping in your sites. So it will be tent camping. No cabins will be available. Those would be designated for staff. So now I will open up the floor for questions. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask.
Hi, folks. My name is Justin.
He
You hear
doesn't.
me okay? All right. I know the schedule, Kylie, great job, by the way. I know you said the schedule and activity list isn't completed. Can you get that to us ahead of time so we can get copies into our scouts' hands so they know where they need to be, when they need to be somewhere?
Yeah, of course. We're going to send that out, hopefully, as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Of
Also,
course.
really glad to see you guys are scheduling times, it sounds like, for the different troops to be at different places. If you've been to mass jam type events, the free-for-all does not work. So please do whatever you can do to not do that and encourage the Scoutmasters to abide by those so that the scouts can have the best time possible.
Yes,
course.
of course.
And a shout out to the rest of you youth running the event. I was there one time. I used to be a lodge chief before your time, so looks like you guys are doing a great job. Thumbs up.
Thank you very much.
Hi guys, it's Liz. So my mom has a quick question about we already registered for Turtle Trek and we have a few other scouts that names we have to add to the roster. Is that is that possible? Can we do that?
Yes, you can. So you can update your registration, change your registration, update registration, or make a new registration until November 1st. I'm not 100% sure if you can do that through the Council Black Pug system. If you cannot, I would send an email to justin.claire@scouting.org, and he will be able to figure it out from there as he is a council employee and he'll be able to direct your question. But once you have registered, you can make updates to your registration.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And Drew, just to jump in there, if for some reason you're struggling with the new Black Pug system, because it is new to council events outside of summer camp, feel free to reach out to council staff like Justin. If you don't hear from anybody, reach out to turtletrek@tulpelodge.org and we'll be attentive to those needs to meet those obligations. Before we talk about staffing, real quick, I just a couple other quick hits for the leaders. Obviously, the LEC is really excited about putting on this event. The big opportunity is for us to engage with the units for a weekend of fellowship. As they mentioned, we will be doing screen printing of the event logo onto T-shirts. So we will be selling T-shirts that people can buy as blanks and then screen it yourself. We will have the ugly mugs that will be brandable with several different brands. So you can buy a mug, you can get it branded. So kind of goes back to having the trading post. We're also going to have a snack shack. So if you're hungry throughout the day and you don't want to go back to your site, you can go and buy a snack from the snack shack. So that's all going to be available right in the center of camp. And then a couple other quick things. One is if you have a unit flag, please bring it. And we will hope to have a very strong unit relations committee. And Liz, who just spoke, is a part of that. And I don't know, Liz, if you want to talk about what your role will be with your team, with having a dedicated youth hourman for each troop to be kind of like your point of contact. So Liz, I'll pass it over to you.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm very out of the loop with myself recently. But I guess my role, I'm in the logistics committee with Logan. So I've mostly just been, I don't know, just seeing what they need. I don't, what do you want me to tap on?
No, I was just going to say, as part of it is, we'll have an individual like member of your team assigned to a troop to be like the concierge, ask any questions, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, like a buddy almost, like
exactly. Yep.
Like a nitpick person you go to. Yeah.
Yep. That was all.
Okay, sorry. Sounds like not paying attention.
All good.
I did. Of course, there's more for me to say for program, but I did forget to mention. Mr. Paulson did remind me that along with winning competitions, we're gonna hand out. Don't know the name finalized yet, but I think they're gonna be like turtle bucks. So they're gonna be like dollars that we're gonna hand out to the participants of the troop who wins the competitions, and that form of currency can go towards the snack shack or the trading post. It's gonna be like worth $1. But they can buy a sticker or a drink with that money, along with the awards for the actual competition. And then also we're gonna have outside guests come. They're not gonna like speak or anything, but they're gonna have display tables. We have people like the K9 team, state police, fire control, environmental police, tech, rescue and fire, high adventure, UMass Dartmouth, a bunch of outside resources coming to set up the display for everyone.
Do we have any further questions?
Just one thing that I forgot to mention when I was speaking earlier is with your units, I strongly encourage that you have 2 per tent so long as you're following scouting guidelines. But that way we have as much room as possible on each site. That way you can help condense the sites down.
Okay. If there are no further questions, we'll just wrap it up there. So a couple final reminders. We will have a deadline for November 1st for registration. Once that deadline goes through, that is around when you're going to get your site assignments as well as that big unit leader email that we've been talking about. So a little bit of quick information on staff as well. If you are a member of the OA, you can come and staff this event, whether you want to be on the logistics committee or the program committee or any of them. We're going to have staff available. Staff are going to get a event patch, as well as that's something we didn't mention before. When someone registers, they also get an event patch with that. Every member of your troop, as well as an adult, will get an event patch. But if you register with the Order of the Arrow, you can come as staff. You get the 3 meals, work throughout the day, and yeah. Thank you all for participating. Thank you for registering or potentially registering. Again, I just want to give some contact information. Any questions about Turtle Trek, you can email turtletrek@tulpelodge.org. That'll be sent out to all of the key leadership as well as myself, and we will get back to you in a timely manner. As well as if you have any questions about registration or anything like that, reaching out to council would be your best bet. If that doesn't work, you can always reach out to us. Thank you all very much. If any of the committee chairs or leaders have anything else to mention. Seeing as there's no more, that'll be it. Thank you all very much and have a great night.